So let's talk Doctor Who. I'm going to jump in with season 8. I'm going to skip the stuff I haven't done in the middle. I can't be bothered mucking about with it really. Um, yeah, season 8 is Peter Capaldi's first series. I'm also going to skip the sort of regeneration episode. We'll just start with Deep Breath, which is his first episode, which is the first episode of the series, where he's literally just regenerated like 10 minutes ago, sort of thing. The series itself, they've changed the format again. That's sort of a key thing to jump in with, sort of the layout of it, is that they've gone from doing a full series with sort of about it was about 3 double eppers through it, to doing 2 half series with sort of at least with a double epper each half series, and now they've gone back to doing a full series, but there's only 1 double epper, which is right at the end of the series. It's a bit of a weird way of doing it. It's fine, but it makes it suffer from... It's better than the half series with no double eppers. That was probably one of the worst laid out series, because there was absolutely nothing to get your teeth into. The problem with this one is that it's Monster of the Week every week, so that you don't... There wasn't any series that really felt that it pushed the key storyline. We've got an awful lot of dribs and drabs, where they'd go the Promised Land, or show Missy talking to someone who died, but there was no big episode like thinking about like the Angels double epper in Matt Smith's first series, where they, which is all about the sort of the crooked smile and the crack in reality, and and that really pushes the what the fuck is it plot forward. We didn't really get an episode like that. There was just sort of an entire series of teasers, rather than it slowly getting brought, more and more into light. So that's really the key thing about that episode, about that series, with the layout. But as I say, better than the half series is, which I really didn't like, but yeah, makes it suffer from Monster of the Week a bit by not doing the double eppers. I don't think they used Clara very well either, on the basis that although she did fine, they did a lot of good stuff with her, they overly used her. Which is an odd thing to say, but bear with me. The big thing with the series is that, yeah, it focuses totally on Clara. It's not got it's not the Doctor's show anymore for this series. He's almost a background character. We see Clara, and we see her school, and we see her boyfriend, and we see, all of this stuff, and they do an awful lot of stuff with her. And I think the Doctor sort of gets pushed to the sidelines because of that. They also do, I'm not a huge fan of the whole, I am going to send you home and let you lead your life, and every now and then sort of pop in and take you on an adventure. Since when has the Doctor done this? This is very Matt Smith started it with Amy, and I don't like it. I think that the Doctor, you come aboard, in my opinion, the way the Doctor Who stories go is that you are the, you are the human, and you are a flawed being. There's an issue with your character. The Doctor drops into your life, you go on an adventure in the TARDIS, and you come away a changed person. I think that's the best way to say it. I think it all actually starts with Chris Eccleston, because he and David Tennant with Rose, because they did go home to meet the parents, simply put. but it was once in a blue moon, and it wasn't really, you know, stop, go home, have a break, go back on holiday with the doctor. You know, it was, it's more a case of stop, go, grab some clean pants, get on with it, you know. I'm even then thinking about it, it's still questionable, isn't it? I like it when, yeah, they are in the TARDIS and they go and they have a solid adventure. That's what it should be. There's too many breaks between, you know, them going on holiday with him. He sort of becomes, I think it makes the Doctor sort of become that friend you had in high school who'd never ring to ask if you were busy. They just turned up at your door being like, oh, I just thought I'd come and hang out. You're like, I've got chores to do. Oh, it's alright, we'll do them later. What? You know, that's what the Doctor suddenly become, is, yeah, that annoying friend in high school. Does the Doctor really need to be that? You know? So anyway, that's an issue. The Doctor himself was a bit sporadic as well. I think, again, the whole series, they did sort of do that though, where they made the whole series be about making this new Doctor drop into his role, and it's not until the last bloody episode does he actually go, oh, I've clicked what character this Doctor's going to be. And you finally get that there he is moment on the last episode, which is really fucking annoying, because it should be in like one of the first three. Sure, we should know who the Doctor is and have him nailed down relatively quickly. He is the hero, for God's sake. See, we are supposed to look up to him, but yeah, they don't really nail his character down until the last episode. And I think, having looked at the trailers for the new series, I think they unnail it again as well. So I think Peter Capaldi's going to go down in his history as the really wonky Doctor. Unfortunately, I think he's suffering from Colin Baker disease, for want of a better phrase. That basically he's turned up and he's totally game, and he's a really good actor and knows what he wants to do with the part, and he's getting handed some really iffy scripts. Because Peter Capaldi he does great as the Doctor, and he's a believable Doctor, and I like him. But yeah, they haven't got the character properly nailed down yet, and they've not given him anything interesting to work with. And there's an awful lot of paradoxes in this story, which Stephen Moffat's getting really bad at doing. Stephen Moffat's getting too clever for his own good now, that he's writing in all sorts of clever stuff and hints and things, and then making a mess of it. I still think the best series, his best series was his first one. He turned up and did the Pandorica series, and it was fantastic, and all, and led into the next series and things like that. But then the series fell apart. The second series was, I felt, was a disappointment from the start. I think probably for worst series I think, Matt Smith's second series was probably the worst for me, for the sheer start that it went, they have an entire series leading up to the Pandorica has opened, now silence will fall. And then the series starts and they go, there's the silence, oh, we beat them. Huh? What? Huh? What happened there? It was, lacked creative stamina. And the same problem happens with this series, that he's got an awful lot of very clever sort of ideas and layouts, and doesn't really pull them off very well. There's an awful lot of things you're left thinking, why? Things like, it's all the robots are trying to get to the promised land, and the robots are the one things that can't get into it. And this is supposed to be foreshadowing the fact that all the dead people are going into this Gallifreyan hard drive, or whatever it's bloody called, the Nethersphere. What? That's weird. And why the robots? And why do they know about it? Or are we foreshadowing for next series? And if we are, then you've not bloody told us very well. It just makes this series look badly laid out. Yeah, it just was silly. I think Stephen Moffat's due to go. I think he could do with going. I want Clara to go now. Like, she needed a full series. She only had she was very interesting as the Impossible Girl. That was quite an interesting storyline. And it was fun. But they did it now. So why bother? So why, so why the character? And they've just set her up as a bit of a cheap Rose Tyler, really. So I'm done with her. She can go. Stephen Moffat, I think, should go and hand over the reins to someone fresh, who's got some fresh ideas, because Stephen's making them a bit messy. I think as well they should, after, I can't remember his name now. Is it John Nathan Turner? There was the chap who stayed with Doctor Who for years and years and years, and started with Tom Baker and got kicked out halfway through. I think it was halfway through Colin Baker. And he was there for years and years and years, and he was the guy who killed Doctor Who at the end of the day. And the key reason was because he stayed with it too long, in my opinion. There was that sort of rumour that there was sort of, from what I've heard, that he was 90% drugged at that point as well. But he really should have sort of let it go earlier. And it's the same thing here, is that I think Stephen Moffat's done his thing now. He should realise it and go and move on and go and get on with something else. He's had he's had 4 series, which is the same amount as Russell T Davies. So now he can piss off and give someone else the reins and let them get on with it. And I think two quick final things to whinge about. It's been a really whingy series, actually. There's a lot of complaints, because I think Clara's character through the whole thing can't accept the fact that the Doctor is regenerated. Out of everyone, she's the one bloody person who should be able to accept that fact. She's met his entire timeline. So how can she not get her damn head round this? Hey ho. So that's a bugbear for me. That annoys me. Yeah, she spends the whole thing being confused about his new regeneration and not being sure about it, when she should be fine. She's met. We've seen that she's jumped in and at least seen all his regenerations and helped them all. So, and we've also seen him sit and have a cup of tea with David Tennant and the War Doctor. So, where's the issue, dear? Why have you got a problem with this? So I think that's bad writing. And then I think the final thing to moo about is Missy. I think a lot of people really liked her, and that's fine. And when they did the reveal that Missy was the Master, I wasn't surprised. I think a lot of people were like, yep, saw that coming. Like myself. Yes, of course you're the Master, that's fine, saw that coming a mile away. I wasn't especially keen on the idea. I think the worst thing was that I felt that they'd left him as dead as possible, and yet he escaped. And I think that's, and Stephen Moffat himself said, "I'm not explaining it, piss off." You know, in the old series, he used to just turn up and have mysteriously escaped and mwahahaha. I think we're slightly more, and my two thoughts on that is A, yes, but that was when it was getting a bit cheesy and crap, and B, no, just tell us, for God's sakes. It makes for an interesting storyline. Just because you're too lazy to come up with something. But I also feel I'm not. Now they've done the sex change, Time Lord regeneration. It means they can do it with the Doctor. I don't think they ever will, but I hope they don't. Not. I don't want to be sexist or anything, but I know a lot of girls who agree with me on this one that they shouldn't, so that's okay. I just think it makes... Obviously it's interesting and it makes the dynamic different and things like that, but I think it makes for very complicated storytelling to an extent. That suddenly you've got to be... How does a dude who's been a dude for several lifetimes become a chick and be a chick? Simply put, yeah, I think it'll make for some really awkward storytelling and make it really awkward, and I just don't think they should do it. And I don't like the fact that they made Master Missy. I think that's a bit silly. The girl's doing a great job. The actress is very good, and she is doing a good job. And it is fun. I just thought they could have used the Rani or something, you know. I know they wanted it to be Master because they were setting up this big setup. You know, they were setting up a big setup. They were setting up the big confrontation that, you know, they're both the same and they were old friends and blah 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 blah. But nobody really cared that much. I think it was a bit of a damp squib, that. Yeah, I think that's all the complaining about it. Unfortunately, because it's Monster of the Week, I think that this is the thing, yeah, because it's Monster of the Week, there are a lot of episodes in there that are really damn good. Time Heist, Robots in Sherwood, Orient Express are some really good, strong episodes. I think, looking at it, there are some weaker episodes, there always are. But I think the only one I can put down as a genuinely fairly bad episode is The Forest of the Night. Is the only one I would have actually said was a really rubbish episode that I would quite happily skip. The rest of them I'd watch quite happily. Oh, let's put on some Doctor Who. What from Series 8? Oh, any of them but Forest of the Night. I'll watch the rest of them. Hello, you. So all the positives come from the individual episodes, I think, when you're going, oh, wasn't Time House cool, wasn't this clever, and I like this character, and blah blah blah. Whereas the actual, yeah, the overall series had a lot of issues. Hopefully we'll get that fixed for the new season, but I highly doubt it, because at the end of the day, Doctor Who's going to be a flawed TV series. It always is and always will be. Part of the fun, really, isn't it? So, anyway, I think that's enough just mooing about the main series. I'll do another one of these later to talk about Deep Breath, which has a whole bunch of whinges in it. So, I'll see you back for Deep Breath. See you later, guys. I hope you're enjoying the rants.